This new fantastic 7 Deadly Sins game just came out yesterday, and a lot of people want to play it, but it's a Japanese only game, so how do you download it? Well, I'll be having a tutorial for both Android and iOS. I know Android, most people already know how to, but I'm gonna be making it anyways. And if you on iPhone, which probably most people are, I'm gonna put a timestamp right here in the screen and in the description, so you just skip there and you'll be good to go. But again, I'll be starting with Android. I will be utilizing a Android emulator, but it is literally the same thing. So let's get into it. Let me first move on to the scene. Let me close this because I'm actually using another emulator. It's gonna be way easier in the other emulator actually. Of course, I'll be leaving all of the needed downloads and stuff like that, everything in the description, so make sure. But on Android, you just have to go in your browser. Again, it will work in any Android device at all, every single one. You just go in your browser, any browser, and just type in Q app, click enter. Don't go for like, oh, okay. That was nothing. just go for the first one and then get Q app for Android. You don't want to like go on your browser and just go like Q app 7 Deadly Sins or something like that, because they'll ask for your like to create an account on it. You don't want to create an account. You don't want to lose time. Just go in, install it. Just make sure. I don't believe you need, if they ask you, some Androids will do, but if they ask you to do some permissions, just do it. It's a very well used app, so it's very trustable. Is trustable a word? I think it is. Just go type in 7 Deadly Sins after you're done installing it and enter. Okay, so I had an issue. It's not 7 Deadly Sins, it's the 7 Deadly Sins. Oh, it's gonna be the first one. Just ignore everything that it pops up and then just click on it and download it. After you're done downloading, if they ask you to make a permission, just do it. It is again a very trusty app. Everyone does it. There is another version. Oh, next, install. There are 2 versions of this game in QApp, the Japanese and I believe the Chinese. Let me check. Korean. There's the Japanese and the Korean version. You can pick whichever you want. I would suggest Japanese, and of course, if you go in, it's gonna be working. Now, of course, let's move on to the God damn, that was loud. Let's move on to the iOS. So actually, I'll be commentating over pre-recorded stuff. It is really because the method didn't change. The only thing that changed for me is that I got a way better microphone, and if I link you the other video, the microphone is so terrible, I want you to hear this microphone. But let me go in. So iOS is way more difficult than Android, it's not even close. You need the iTunes app on your computer. You cannot do this with the iPhone alone. You will need this in your computer, so be noted of that. I do believe you can do it on your iPhone, but you need a credit card. And I do believe it has to be a Japanese credit card. So you need an iTunes app, so just download the iTunes app. Again, every link will be in the description, everything that you need. So just go in. Let me just pause this. You will go in of course, in your iTunes app, go and sign in. Sign off if you're not already signed off. Just sign in and create a new Apple ID. So for that, you will need to create a Gmail or Outlook, anything like that you need for an email. And that will be, again, necessary because they will need to confirm it. You just go in, you select Japan after you're done clicking on create Apple ID, and just type in your email. This case, I did create a Gmail on the video. I'll skip the process of creating the Gmail because literally creating an email is the easiest thing. And if you already have an email, you don't need to create a new one if you have not already used it for the Apple ID. So as you can see, I just go in and go create a new Gmail. Again, I'll be skipping this. Just let me talk over again. If you already have an email that you never use at all, just use that email. Just use that Gmail or Outlook, anything like that, and just put it there. I'm gonna skip this because again, it's unnecessary. So I finished creating my Gmail, and then I go back on my my iTunes app, and then of course just type in your Gmail. I do believe in the pre-recorded, I just made a terrible email. Just if you do create a burner, just make a simple email like this is my GP account, 500 numbers, and then you'll be good. And then this email, by the way, I never used again. Again, it's just a burner. You're probably just only going to use it once. To keep it on your iPhone for whenever you need to update the game again. So it will need to be an email you have to constantly have in your phone to update the game. So don't forget the password or anything like that. Don't make a terrible email. Just make something that you remember, right? So again, just confirm that you agree with the Apple terms of service and make sure it's Japan. So for this, of course, just fill in the personal information. Just put in everything. Just type in your name and stuff like that, your date of birth, question 1, 2, 3. This is completely unnecessary for me to explain. Just type in everything that you would do in the first time you create your account anyways. You had to do this, so you already know how it works. Let me skip this again. So finishing typing it in, of course, you do just go continue. You can untype the subscribe. I do advise to untype the subscribe to the thing because it's really annoying. Just continue. It could take a while. It did take a while for me. And then on this page, they ask you for a credit card, but you just click none because, of course, you go to none. And here's the biggest deal. You need to go on this website that is called fakeaddressgenerator.com and just get a Japanese fake address. You'll need to do that because if you just type in random stuff, they'll know it's not real and they will not like it. So just I'll link, again, all links in the description. I'll just leave it there. You just copy and paste whatever is in the website and it will work out. It's just, Apple should take more care of this because these are completely fake. This is completely fake. I mean, the addresses could be real, but mostly people are just gonna reuse the same address and they don't have any like system that prevents it. But yeah, you just copy and paste everything from there. After you're done, of course, continue. Make sure, of course, that everything is correct. That was incorrect right there. And they will send you a verification code on your email. That's why you'll need a real email or else it just not work. I found that sometimes Outlook can be very annoying with this. It will take a while for them to actually receive it. So I do recommend Gmail though. So get the code, just pull it out, put it there, boom. Just Ctrl V, verify, and it may take a while. It did. I recall when I made this, it took like 5 minutes to actually set up, and then I had to make a skip and just put in. Just it will say it's expired. You just have to log in again. So you just do that. Very simple. Just put in everything you had to do, just to make sure. But then, of course, you want to log in on your iPhone. Now, this is again why I had to get old footage because I just couldn't do this again. I don't have an iPhone anymore. But you just type in your new Apple ID from Japan. Again, if you do all the process I just showed, it will work out. Just put in the new email and you'll be fine. Password again. I don't recall. Well, okay. I didn't remember that was the password. The email probably has been used so many times because I didn't show the password in the email. That message will pop up because you're gonna be switched to the Japanese store, and now you can just App Store and search for the 7 Deadly Sins game. Again, I did search for Naruto Blazing because it was other video, but you just type in the 7 Deadly Sins or 7 Deadly Sins or Grand Cross, and the app will show because you are now in the Japanese store. And yeah, that's it. This is not for iOS. Again, if you do want to go back into the English or whatever store you use, just pop in your email again, and whenever the game requires an update, just go in the store, log back in on the Japanese account, and you'll be good to go. You have no problem at all on that. The game is great. I've been having a lot of fun with it. I do want to say, oh, it's version 1.0.69. Hell yeah. I've been having a lot of fun with it. I do want to say, I don't understand everything because, of course, the Japanese version. So I do advise if you're going to play the Japanese version, it is what I'm going to do. You can do whatever you want. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the Japanese version. And if I feel like I should move on to global because then I'm going to understand more, I will. But if I don't, I'm just going to keep my JP account. I do also advise rerolling if you don't get the main Meliodas. By the time you're watching this, the best character is Meliodas. If you don't get the SSR Meliodas, just keep Uninstalling the app and installing again, there's no better way to do that. Not right now as I'm recording, but just keep uninstalling the app and installing it again until you get Meliodas. That is the best way you can do it because he's the best character in the game right now. There are two Meliodas that you want, is the normal Meliodas from the banner and the Meliodas that is the demon form. That one's also good, but you cannot reroll for that. There's another way of getting that. It's way more complicated, I'm not gonna get into it. You cannot get there so easily. But yeah, again, the game is great. I do want to say I have high hopes for it. It may not be one of those games like Dokkan Battle that can last like X amount of years. You never know how long it will last, but given that 7 Deadly Sins is each day more popular, especially globally because Netflix made it so popular, I hope we can get like 100 million downloads one day and stuff like that. Not many games can get that, but maybe it will. If it gets a global version, I'm sure the game can go very far ahead. Thank you guys for watching, and have fun playing it.